Hello everybody, this is the training for the Social Stealth Marketer 1.41 Pro. Currently it's the middle of January 2018 and we are launching this out to the general public. So I'm going to go ahead and update the training video. We've just added a few things, so I'm going to go over all of it. I'd like to start by just telling you what the agenda here for the software was and is, and that is to use LinkedIn as an opt-in facility to take email addresses and upload them automatically, even thousands at a time in some cases, into what we call LinkedIn's back door. That's the email invite facility in LinkedIn. Most people have never heard of it, but it's extremely useful. And so this software automates that process. It makes it look like a virtual assistant is doing it for you. And the LinkedIn Inviter tab here is the beginning of it. We do this in several ways, and the agenda is to be able to push a button and build a list. And not just any list, but a list that we can market to over and over. It creates a warm email marketing system, and it explodes our LinkedIn network. And there's many, many benefits for this. And so Social Stealth Marketer is the first software of its kind to exploit this in LinkedIn. And we're very proud of it here. So anyway, without further ado, let's get on with this. The LinkedIn Inviter tab is designed so that if you have lists of your own, and these are lists of email addresses, just emails in a text file or CSV, you can load them in. You can do a few hundred if you like. But I don't suggest that you upload more than about 150 a day. So you can select as many as you want after you load them, and then you would have it selected to emails only, and then you would upload one at a time. And then you just simply hit the play button here, and it will log into your LinkedIn account that you've entered from your managed accounts information over here, and it will upload these one by one slowly. Now, that's the beginning of this process. If you have some of our other software and you have an entire CSV file of this data here with name, city, email, information, URL that our associator puts out, you can load that file instead, and it will log in and then run the invitation messages from LinkedIn itself. So if you had, let's say, 100 associated profiles in a file, you could load that file and select the message, and then you would turn off emails only, and you would turn off upload whole file and hit the play button. And it would go in, log into LinkedIn, visit the profile that you have, and then run the invitation from there and send it a personalized invite. That we can go over in another video as a more advanced way to use the system, and we may be doing more with that in the future. But generally speaking, you come in here, you load a file, you have it on emails only, and you have the upload whole file turned off. You hit the play button and it will load them one by one. Now, why wouldn't you just upload the whole file is the question, and the answer is this: most people have a free account on LinkedIn, and if you upload whole files, sometimes LinkedIn, they just won't run the invites if you have a free account. Go figure. If you have a business premium or sales navigator account, then you can upload whole files. Generally speaking, they will run the invites, and everybody's happy because, of course, they've gotten paid. That's just kind of the way LinkedIn works. They don't tell you about that, but I'm here to tell you that if you have a paid account, you're much more likely to be able to upload a whole file and then have LinkedIn send those invites. LinkedIn doesn't send personalized invites, of course. It just sends general ones, but the connection ratios are approximately the same anyway. So if you have a business premium account, and let's say that you run across a list of 1,000 email addresses of, I don't know, dentists, CEOs, whatever, you can load it in here, just the emails, select upload whole, and then you have it on emails only and upload whole, and hit the button, and it will, boom, upload all of them. Now I've seen some amazing things go on when this occurs, and we did a test last week. Actually, we had 2,800 emails. We had a Sales Navigator account. There was only about 100 people in the network, and we uploaded the whole file, and within an hour about 40 people had connected already, and that was at midnight. So it can be absolutely phenomenal. Now, will LinkedIn keep doing this over the long term? Well, I don't know. They've been doing it for years. If they change, then we can take these email addresses, turn them into profile links, and do it anyway. But we'd have to do it one by one at that point. Anyway, that is how you use this tab. So it can be very powerful, especially under certain circumstances, as mentioned. You might be wondering, what's this withdraw button down here? That's a really cool feature. This withdraw button withdraws your invites that are older than 2 weeks. And a lot of people have old invites that have been hanging around. Now, LinkedIn allows you to have 5,000 invites allegedly over the life of your account. Now, if you ever reach 5,000, they'll let you know. They'll stop you from inviting more people, unless, of course, you go back and you clean out these old invites. So if you ever do get to 5,000 and you have them cleaned, you can go ask LinkedIn for more invitations, and they will almost always, 99% of the time, give them to you. So you're really not limited to 5,000, just so you understand that. So what's really cool is you hit this withdraw button, and in just 6 or 7 minutes, it'll go wipe out hundreds of old invites that would probably take you over an hour to do by yourself. And so I've had lots of people tell me that this is, fantastic to use this withdraw button, and I have experienced it personally. It is great. I had about 600 old invites when I hit the button, and I think it took about 7 minutes, and they were gone. So, it probably would have taken me, I don't know, realistically, with a couple of little breaks, at like an hour and a half to go through those. So this withdraw button is really cool. Anyway, that is the LinkedIn Inviter tab. I'm going to move over to the Hyperconnector here. Now, the Hyperconnector is designed to upload in the same way as the LinkedIn Inviter, except that we are supplying the files for you. You can get, upon request, files of superconnectors. Okay, and we have a couple of files totaling 1,000 superconnectors. This is for people that they want to build their LinkedIn network. So if you have, let's say, only 200 or 300 or less than 500 connections in your network, and you want to build a lot more, you can come in here, you can select the superconnectors list after you've requested it from us, and it's free. We don't charge for it. And you can then set it, I suggest 125 per day, and you click download, wait 5 seconds, and then click invite. Now, of course, you want to have that upload whole file turned off. and it will stream up the 125 slowly. If you're just building your connections, you want to have 125 a day. You want to do it slowly. You don't want to boost the whole file. Now, if let's say that you you were having a webinar, and you really needed, let's say, CEOs to get to that webinar. Well, we have files of thousands of CEOs. You can call me, and we'll have this on a website in the future, and you can purchase those files of CEOs, and then if you have a business account, you can upload the whole file. And this saves you a lot of time and trouble, and it probably negates the need to get Sales Navigator. If you have a business premium account, that's just fine, and or Sales Navigator, but I'm just saying you can save some money without it. And this will save you 2 or 3 months of searching and connecting and going through the entire process, because you can take a file of a few thousand and just upload it and have people connect you quickly. I know it sounds crazy, but that is the power of this, and it's been done many times. Most people just don't realize you can do this. You could also stream it up, but if you're purchasing a whole file and you have a business premium or sales nav account or above, then you can do the whole file. If you have a free account and you purchase a list from us, and we have a few lists right now, then you would want to not upload the whole file on a free account and just upload 125 or max 150 a day. So that is the hyperconnector, aptly named because you can connect very quickly or very quickly build your network. So let's move on here. Invite history. As you upload from the LinkedIn Inviter, I've wiped out my history. I've uploaded several things in the past, but the LinkedIn Inviter or Hyperconnector, it will show here the date and the email file name and the tab name that you did at either Hyperconnector or LinkedIn Inviter to help you keep track of what you've done. And there's some other stuff here I'm going to get to in just a minute. Let's go over to the SMTP. Here's the SMTP tab. This is where you can set up any SMTP. We have it defaulted so that it's easy to set up Gmail. And you just put in your email address and password, and voila, you're done. And you can send a test message to yourself. Down here, we have SendGrid. And SendGrid is a very cool email platform. You can get a free account, and I believe you can send up to 10,000 emails a month. I have an account which is an inexpensive $9.95 account. I can send up to 100,000 a month. That's enough, in my opinion, for SendGrid. As we move forward, I'll put in some other APIs, and then we'll have a rotation system where we can rotate through multiple SMTPs and or APIs so we can get better deliverability and send more email. The API system is only available in the Pro, and the the SMTP up here, I get asked a lot, well, how many should you send if you got just one Gmail account? And the answer is 100 a day. I would not do more than 100 a day on a single Gmail account. Again, we'll set it up so that we can rotate through multiple accounts, but for now this is what we have, and that will change fairly quickly. But right now this is a very well developed SMTP system, works really well, and I think you'll like it. The Send Emails tab is kind of the heart of the system. Here you can load in your contacts. I've got 776 contacts loaded in here, LinkedIn contacts. And you can also email any of the files that you purchase from us. Now, I don't suggest necessarily that you email the super connectors here, but technically you could. It's better to upload those to LinkedIn, actually. Those are LinkedIn open networkers. Some of them do not appreciate being emailed. But I put them in here just as an example of the fact that you can put files in. So you can download email, which means that you can email from these sources, or load email, meaning you can load email from here. So if you're going to email from any file you have that you've purchased from us, then you would put in the load email. If you're emailing your LinkedIn contacts, you select download email, and then you hit the selector here and you choose how many emails you want. If it's 1 to 100, if you're using your Gmail account, you hit there and it will go ahead and select the first 100 for you, as you can see. So you know, if you want to delete any of them, you can select and delete as well. Here you have your message. This is your subject line. So you put in your subject line and your message here, and you can put in a web URL as well. And then you click add. And so the subject line designates the label of the email address. And then down here you can select the SMTP and or API that you want to send with. And basically you just select the message that you want here, and then you're good to go. When you hit send, all right, this is all, I mean, at this moment I could hit send. It will go ahead and count how many it is sent until it gets to the end, which of course in this case would be 100. So anyway, this is the from email, just so you know that it's sending from in this case. So over here on the right is kind of a, it's a system that we set up so that if you have, let's say, a certain number of email addresses that you want to send to over and over, then this allows you to set up a kind of an autoresponder sequence. So you can come over here and you can set up your messages and click add, set up another message, click add, and then you can come over here and you can select the message that you want, okay, and then click add, and that would be on the first day, and then select the second message and click add, and you can set up a sequence. So this message would go out first, this one second, this one third, and you can go, there's really no limit to how many you can put in. And then you can set to how many emails that you want to run, and then you can select the start date, and you can hit auto, and then as you leave the software on every day, it will go ahead and send out the next ones. So you can keep an auto-response sequence. So like, let's say that you had 1,000 of your contacts over here. You could sit here, limit to 1,000, have these 1,000 selected, and then set up the sequence, add all of the messages in, select the SMTP that you wanted, and then select all of these here, and then select the date, okay, where you would set them up, and then click auto, and it will, every day, it'll go ahead and send out that next email. So this is a built-in autoresponder system. The only thing is that if you do run this, okay, then you can't run anything else really while it's running. You have to just let it sit. Now, that may sound bad, but it's not really, because you can actually open up multiple instances of the software and do something else at the same time. So you know, I don't limit you as to how many times you can open this up. All right. We do restrict the IP so that you can't like share it with other people, but you know, for you, even if you have a couple of different computers at your office, you can go ahead and run several of these all at the same time. So this becomes a very powerful system. You can you know, obtain targeted lists if you want and email them. You can email your LinkedIn contacts. Yes, you can email any other list if you so choose. Okay. And then you can also set it up as an autoresponder. Now, the Pro version is the only one that has this autoresponder system. All right, the free version does not. Just so you know, there's a few different things that, you know, we have in the Pro version that we don't have in the free, and that's one of them, is this autoresponder system. Let's go over and talk about real-time tagging really quick. If you have LinkedIn contacts, you can go ahead and load them into this system, and right down here, and I've got a sample in here, and then you can designate, I've got owner, and it designates by the position. Okay, so you know, if you put in Chief Executive Officer, it would pull in all the Chief Executive Officers and tag them. But I've set it up for owner, and so you put in the tag owner, click plus and add it, and then if you want to pull up owner up here, you type it in, you hit the enter key, and it will pull that up. If you take it out, hit the enter key again, it pulls them all back in. You can see the ones here. If you want to delete this tag, you can delete it, select and delete. And down here, if you're sending email, you select the tag, and then you can select your SMTP or API, and of course, then you can select the specific SMTP and the message and hit send. And then this allows you then to, you know, I mean, if you got 2,000 or 3,000 LinkedIn contacts, you may have 400 or more that are, you know, CEOs. So this allows you to just instantly tag them. It takes just a few seconds, and then go ahead and email them directly. And so anyway, this is a very, you know, beautiful system for tagging. LinkedIn took tagging away unless you pay them a lot of money. Here, you just load your contacts, and it takes you a few seconds to tag them, and then you can go ahead and hit send. So you've got a lot of freedom and a lot of capability. This is only in the Pro version. Back to the SMTP, remember the API is only in the Pro version as well. Lastly, we have invite history. Now, what I did here was I took the system and I set it up so that when you upload files, however you upload them into your LinkedIn account, you can take that file that you uploaded. You can take several files if you want and put them together, but you can take that file that you uploaded and you can load it in here on the bottom left in the archive. All right, and then after you load it in, you can go over and load in your LinkedIn contacts over here. And remember, I had 776 contacts. Over here I had 300, a file of 300 that I had uploaded a little while ago. It's about, I don't know, a couple of months ago. And what this does is it matches those email addresses so that you only have the email addresses in your contacts from that file, and I came out with 95. So 95 out of 300 connected with me, and it's usually a little higher than that, but anyway, so now I can export this list, save it, label it, And if these were a certain type of people, let's say they were dentists, well, I can label all of these as dentists, and I can label it dentist and the date and underscore 95 or whatever, however you label your files, and then you know that you've got a file of just dentists. And then of course you can take it and you can go back over to the send the emails and upload it and send only to those dentists, and you can build files this way. So as you upload, then you can grab the market intelligence of who is who that you've uploaded and then email only to them. So that is the cool feature. That of course is only in the Pro version, but it's a very, very useful feature because that allows you to take those connections and identify them and send only to them. So a word to the wise, whenever you're doing email, is not to take some old list and just crank it out in your email. It could damage your SMTP. So how do you deal with that? Well, the easiest and best way is to upload that list and then have the ones that want to connect with you and put them into your connections and then email them, because then they're a warm email list. It bypasses all of the issues that you have. If you don't want to take the time to do that, which is only a few days, and let's say you've got an old genealogy list or something from MLM or some old list that you had from a couple years ago, well, the best thing to do is to take the social verifier and load it into the social verifier and then find out where those people are on LinkedIn, and then export that list, and then you can email those. So that it kind of cleans the list up for you. Even better is, if you're really, really getting down to it, is to find out which one of those are on LinkedIn and then upload them and then have them connect. But again, if you're in a hurry and you want to send out email and you've got that list and you don't want to go through that verification process and go through LinkedIn and all that, then before you hit that send button, you should at least pre-clean the list with a place like Bright Verify. It's at brightverify.com. They charge you a penny an email. Now, I'm not suggesting you go spend a bunch of money. It's better if you just verify the list and upload it to LinkedIn and then let people opt in. And that's what this system is all about, is taking those old lists or lists that you've had for a while, or you've traded, or maybe you've purchased for a few dollars, or of course lists from our Entrepreneurs United email development system, and then verify them and load them in to LinkedIn, and then use this system here to email them. Okay, so it just depends on what you have, but this is a much better way to do things. It's much easier, and you're not going to get in trouble for spamming out there if you follow it. So very quick, one more time, you can upload lists by yourself or through the hyperconnector, load up the after they've connected, load them up into the send emails tab and then email them. And if you follow that, you'll be able to build lists very quickly. You can, at 150 a day, or if you have a business, a premium account, loading, hundreds or even thousands in a whole file, you can build a list very quickly and then email it, and you've got your target market right there. So there's no reason not to do it. Anyway, that is the Social Stealth Marketer and the 1.41 Pro at this time. We will be adding on to it, and I hope that you're happy with what I've shown you. Thank you for watching.